Hey guys, so today we have a slightly different video, and by that I mean it's still tea, but it's moving platforms once again to TikTok. I'm very intrigued by TikTok. I think that platform is fascinating. I think the people on there are a whole different set of human beings. I don't understand it and I want to understand it, and I'm doing my best to understand it, and I just want to pass on my knowledge to you guys. I've been following all the like TikTok rooms and all the shade tea platforms, and I'm just like, yes, tell me about these people that I've never heard of before. I want to know. So we have a few things. I've filmed one TikTok video before, which was about the Tony Lopez, Andreas Lopez situation, which I'm going to link in description, hopefully if I don't forget. But also, follow me on TikTok while we're at it. I mean, if it's all about the platform, follow me on the platform. Follow me on Instagram, even though it's a dying platform. Ask any marketing person. Here's my puppy's Instagram. That's the only thing that matters. My puppy's Instagram. So let's talk about Charli D'Amelio. I have like a set of people that I want to talk about and the stories relating to those people, and I'm just going to see how much I can fit into one video. So if you like this type of content, subscribe, hit that bell, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below anything you want to comment down below, because engagement is important, and I've been seeing an increase in engagement whenever I mention this. So when someone says like, oh, you don't have to say it for people to like and comment, clearly I do, because the engagement spikes up whenever I do. So leave a comment and let me know what you think about anything that I'm talking about. So let's start with Charli D'Amelio. I've heard a lot and I've compiled a story. I've compiled a few stories about Charli D'Amelio. Let's start from chronological order. Comments under her TikToks. I found something very interesting under the comments on her TikToks. So when she got into the scandal with the Bahamas trip, right? You know, she went to the Bahamas with her parents, Noah, Dixie, and a few other TikTokers, and she didn't address it for a really long time, and she was getting a lot of hate for it. She didn't lose any followers, which is weird, and I'll get into that in a minute. And the top comments on the videos right after her Bahamas trip, you know, you would expect that you'd click on the videos and they would have like the top comments would be like, when are you going to address the Bahamas thing? And the top comments were not that. Now, what happens on TikTok, if you guys don't know, is if a creator responds to a comment under their TikTok, it is likely going to be pushed up to the top. Kind of not what happens on other platforms. On YouTube, if I heart a comment, it might end up on top, but sometimes then it will get, like if another comment gets like significantly more likes than this one, it will still trump this one. The heart does give you a bit of an advantage, but not so much that it would just go over like any other comments. But also me responding to a comment on YouTube does not push the comment up. On TikTok, I've realized now, all the comments that have responses, kind of like Instagram, all the comments that have some kind of a response from the creator or a like from the creator end up at the top. What I noticed was very similar comments under her TikToks that got a response from her, which is very weird. Of course, Charli's not going through the comments responding, it's probably her agency or her management, but it would be stuff like, your dancing is incredible. And then it would be a response going, oh my God, thank you so much, love. But it was like the same comment under every TikTok. Now I'm wondering, is that her getting like someone to comment under her TikTok, her responding to the TikTok, pushing it up and doing that to multiple comments so that then pushes the Bahamas accountability to the side? Because the moment you got past the comments that she responded to, it was like straight up Bahamas trip, hold yourself accountable. The comments that she responded to had maybe 1,000 likes. Once you get through all those comments, there are comments with 50,000 likes saying, where is the accountability? Is that a new marketing trick on TikTok where you hide comments that you don't want to see without actually deleting them? So you get the engagement, you get the number, right? 50,000 comments, 100,000 comments, whatever it is, without having to delete those comments, but you simply just push them down. So I found that pretty interesting when I went through her TikToks, because I was expecting to see the 50,000 like comments right at the top, and they just weren't there. And I found that pretty interesting. Regarding comments faking stuff, there was recently a story about Charli D'Amelio buying her followers. I know that's like spoken about already, but there were two proofs of that. Like there were two TikToks going over why this could be true. So one of them, I don't know if you guys remember like Social Blade back in the day, if you typed in a YouTuber's name, they would show you a live sub count where it would jump up by literally every single sub. Like if they gained one sub, then they would go up by one sub. Like the thing, you know, if it went up by 1,000 a minute, then it would go up 1,000. Like you could see exact numbers down to like the one subscriber. Since the James Charles by Sister Dramageddon thing, that has now been removed. All your numbers are rounded up, so on those live counts, it will only jump up when it jumps up to the next round up. So for example, if you're on 100 subscribers, then it will jump up only when you reach 200 subscribers, because then that's the next best thing. But if you're on 1.1 million, then it will only jump up when you reach 1.2 million. So YouTube doesn't really have that anymore, but because TikTok hasn't been through its own Dramageddon, TikTok still does live sub counts. So you can type in Charli D'Amelio and you'll get a live follower count, not sub count. But some of them will have a graph at the bottom, the way Social Blade used to have, where it would be like spike up, spike down if you lost some, and then spike up and then straight, and then, you know, like depending on how you're gaining and losing subs. A TikToker, I'll try to find this TikTok because it has been deleted since, where they saw, and this is very interesting, I'm going to try to explain it as a YouTuber, as someone who is kind of like in the behind the scenes. So it would be like she was slowly losing followers, but it was gradual. It was a very organic, natural loss, which means people were actually unfollowing, because it was like, it wasn't dropping down straight down or straight down, it was just going like da-dum, da-dum, like little stairs. And that's the way it would show on Social Blade back in the day, because I used to be obsessed. When I first started my channel, we still had the Social Blade thing, and I used to be obsessed with seeing it go up, like the little graph, and if it would go down, I'd be like, why are people unsubscribing? I used to be obsessed with it. So it would do little stairs. So like if you were gaining subs gradually, it would be like a little stair, like da-dum, da-dum, a bigger stair, a smaller stair, da-dum, da-dum. That was gradual organic growth, unbought, just like this is how you're growing. So the same thing applies when you're losing subs. It's like little staircases, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Okay? It never showed like a line. It was like little jumps. So she's doing those jumps, right? And then suddenly every 20th second of the minute, so for example 1 minute and 20 seconds, 2 minutes 20 seconds, 3 minutes 20 seconds, exactly on the 20-second mark, she gets a spike up. Not a da-dum, 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 no. She gets a line up, and the place where that line ends is always higher than what she lost, if that makes sense. So for example, let me put it in simple terms. If she had 100 followers and she lost 10, every single time she would gain 20 to not only gain back the 10 that she lost, but then to also go into positive, if that makes sense. So she was always gaining more than she was losing. It was very interesting. So it's every minute on the 20-second mark. That is usually how big agencies that buy followers work. So this isn't the same as like buying a package that's like 1,000 followers for £5 or whatever it is that people do. It's not that. It is a full-on like management system where they on a regular basis add followers to your account. It's like a full-on system that you pay for. Now out of the pure like sheer curiosity of it all, went on one of those like more legit websites where you buy followers for TikTok. It was kind of like one of those, you can either pay monthly or you buy big bulk packages, but apparently they're real followers. And I checked, right, out of 100 million, well, Charli now has 107, but at the time 100 million, when the scandal first happened, when people accused her of buying followers, it was right when she hit 100 million. So let's say out of 100 million she bought 50 and she gained 50 organically. If she was to buy 50 million followers off that website, she would have to pay $800,000, which might seem like a lot to the regular person like me and you. Me and you are not going to pay $800,000 for 50 million followers. However, for someone who I'm guessing made more than $10 million last year, considering she pays $55,000 a month rent on her new mansion that she just moved into with her parents, she's definitely making more than 10 million a year. She probably has a financial advisor who is making sure that she's spending the right amount of money compared to what she's making. So I'm assuming she made probably 15 million last year. I know some websites said 5 million, but as a YouTuber, once again, a lot of websites that tell you how much YouTubers make are completely off, and it's usually way less than YouTubers actually make. Considering CPM, sponsorships, you know, investments, anything like that, they're usually way off. A lot of websites said that she made 5 million last year. I'm saying 15. So $800,000 out of 15 million to be the most followed person on the platform and have the opportunities that she has seems like kind of a good return on investment. Like, I think that's a good investment to make for her, right? Like, for us, doesn't really make sense. Are we going to spend 800,000? We don't even have 800,000, let alone to spend it on followers. But for someone who makes 15 million a year, spending what, like less than a 15th of that to get the opportunities she has to be the most followed person on the platform, I don't know, guys. And also, this kind of came about during her scandal. Obviously, she was about to hit 100 million. She got into her scandal of being ungrateful. Then she gained back what she lost and then some in a very short amount of time. And people said that's very, very weird. That's very weird that you lost 1 million and then you gained like 3 back within a few days. And boom, she's the most followed person on the platform, 100 million. Then there was another girl. And this is no hate to Charli and Dixie. I have nothing against them. I think they're quite sweet girls. And I think they just threw themselves into the limelight accidentally. And now there's just all eyes on them. Then there was another video that showed a girl going through her followers list. Well, no, she went on the Charli D'Amelio account. She went into who are her followers. She would click on one of her followers, go into who they're following, and they wouldn't be following Charli D'Amelio. So they're on her followers list, but she's not on their following list, if that makes sense.
Okay, here are Charli D'Amelio's followers.
Go out to show that it's her followers.
Okay, Charli D'Amelio followers.
Yeah.
It's gonna load. So this one is Ash _ whatever. She's
so
following.
you're basically, you go to her
Charlie's
follower.
not one of them.
Yeah. Go back
So,
out.
yeah.
Show it again.
Does it say she's following 3 or 2?
Followers. Go to this. Another
they're
person.
not following her.
They're not following her.
Like, and
That
then,
shit's-
yeah.
That's insane.
It could just be a glitch in the system, but I thought it was quite interesting. I think it was quite interesting. Because then I went through my own followers just to see if it was a glitch. And most of mine, when I clicked on them, they were fine. Like, they would be on my followers list and I would be on their followings list. But maybe if you're on 100 million, TikTok just can't keep up. I don't know. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I just want to know what you guys think. I'm really intrigued by this because it's like, oh, and I also read an article. My mind just went to places. I also read an article about buying followers. So someone created a whole new account and started buying followers on it just to see how it affects the algorithm. And they said that the followers that they gained, they wanted to check who they're following, so they would go into that, and all of the accounts following them were also following an account of a young girl with 2.2 million followers. They were like, so all of the followers that we bought are also following you. And they reached out to her for comment, and they basically just said she's too young to be buying followers. She's obviously not doing it, which age makes no difference, because if you're signed to an agency at 2.2 million followers, they're just going to do it for you. They're going to do it on your behalf. They're going to be like, this is the best way to market you right now. Let's just do it. So this seems to be a widespread issue. And if Charli is buying her followers, then is that the new way to become famous? And is that how people actually become famous? Are we all just doing it wrong? Are we never going to be Charli D'Amelio because we don't have $800,000 to spend? And if you guys wondering, like, she probably didn't buy those 50 million when she wasn't a TikToker because she didn't have money then, just in case anyone's trying to debunk the theory. I'm assuming she was doing it consistently. So let's say, what's 15 million divided by 12? So she's making just over $1 million a month, 12. So she's making about 1.25 million a month, and 800,000 divided by 12 is about 66,000. So she would be spending about what she spends on rent on buying followers, which makes sense. So every time she gets a paycheck at the end of the month, she has an extra 1.25 million in her bank account. They say, give us 66,000 and we spend that towards you gaining followers. I'm assuming it's like a monthly deal if it's actually happening. Obviously, I'm not saying it's like 100% confirmed. This is allegedly. But if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, out of 1.25 million, is 66,000 such a huge spending for her? So in reality, the 65,000 that she would spend a month on gaining those followers is actually only 5% of her salary. So it's as if a regular person was making $1,250 a month and was spending about £65 on buying followers, which isn't that crazy. A lot of people do it. 5% of her salary to be the most followed person on the platform. I think it kind of makes sense. Anyway, next story for Charli D'Amelio. Then there's the whole, their parents abusing them, which I think is absolutely insane. Let's not assume that people are being without actual proof. It's kind of damaging to do that. But there is that weird video of them promoting the Hulu reality TV show, and the mum like kind of pulls her back when she like doesn't, and she rolls her eyes. I think that's regular family behavior. They could have cut it out and refilmed it, but they probably didn't notice and they couldn't be asked to refilm it. I think that's regular behavior. Your mum tells you what to do and you roll your eyes or whatever. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. But Trisha Paytas actually duetted that TikTok and was like, we need to send help to these girls. And there is a lot of like, oh, their parents are forcing them to film TikToks. They're not happy filming TikToks anymore. And Charli addressed that on her podcast. They said that when they don't want to film TikToks, they don't film TikToks. They only film when they want to. Their parents don't force them to do anything. So people also say that she doesn't look happy anymore. They compared her to like pictures on her Instagram pre-TikTok where she was like all smiley and stuff, and she's basically saying like, back then I was actually less happy than I am now. Just because I smile more in pictures doesn't mean I'm like more or less happy. She's like, you know, you don't believe what you see on the internet. But she also says that she doesn't feel the need to force herself to look happy all the time. She doesn't feel the need to, like, the pressure to always be the giggly, the bubbly girl. So like, I guess she's maybe just being more honest about how she feels and more true to herself. Then there is a very interesting thing, CeraVe ad. CeraVe is a new, I think that's how you pronounce it, but then some people pronounce it CeraVe. It's like a drugstore, very hyped up skincare brand that everyone is promoting right now. And they did an ad with Charli D'Amelio, which actually then they had to take the comments off. They turned the comments off because all of the comments were hate. Whenever I hear about these girls, it's most followed person on the platform, most streams on Spotify, most views on this. And yet, whenever people talk about them, it's nothing but hate. How can you be the most followed person on the platform, but then a whole brand has to turn off comments because that's how much hate you're getting? I think it's so wild, which then kind of makes the buying followers thing a little bit more, like, true. I don't know, like, doesn't make it more true because then it dilutes the amount of followers you have. I guess. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like a little thing that came to my head right now. So they turned off the comments because they were getting that much hate. The Bahamas trip. We finally get to the Bahamas trip. I'm going in chronological order right now, ladies and gents. They go to the Bahamas and they're going to, I believe, Boa Steakhouse. That's where they are every evening. And they're walking in and Charlie's like replying to the questions that the Hollywood Fix guy is asking. And then another guy goes, so about the Bahamas trip, and she just walks off. Like, she's not responding to that question. She's really like minding her own business. She's not even turning back to respond. And then when they leave, he asks her again and he's like, you know, what's the response to you going to the Bahamas? And she says, no response.
I know you received a lot of backlash about the Bahamas. What was your response to that? I was just wondering.
No response.
No response? No response?
And Trisha Paytas actually goes on a big rant on Twitter, basically calling them stupid and uneducated. And she says something like they shouldn't have been taken out of school because they clearly just have no logical common sense. She's getting pretty hard on them. And this all happened because Noah Beck was actually caught by the Hollywood Fix guy. And he basically was just like, our job's really stressful. Like, I think we just needed a holiday to relax. I was like, you know what? When you're making millions of dollars a year, I don't think you need a holiday every year when the pandemic's going on. You can skip a year because your life's basically your holiday. The mansion that they live in, the pool. Like, if I had a pool next to my house, I don't care. I'd just be in my pool. I don't have to go on holiday this year. I didn't go on holiday. The last holiday I went on was in 2019, September. That was the last like warm holiday I went on. And then I actually managed to slip in 3 days of snowboarding in January, right before we found out about. I haven't been on a warm holiday since September and it's been nothing but rain since, so that's good. And then I went on my last like actual holiday. It was only 3 days, so it was basically like a weekend over a year ago. I think you can live. Honestly, I've been living, you know, we're all stressed out, like everyone's stressed out. People are losing jobs, people are losing family members, and your biggest issue is I didn't go on holiday. It's annoying. So yeah, the whole no response thing was quite, you know, Then we have a really funny one. Well, not very funny the way it started, and then kind of the way it finishes, just really embarrassing, like secondhand embarrassment. So Charli XCX is a singer, and recently one of her friends actually passed away sadly due to an accident where she, I believe, fell off a roof or because she was trying to see something, and she actually passed away. And there was a hashtag on Twitter. It was hashtag here for Charli. Do you see where this is going? Please tell me you see where this is going. Charli then goes on Twitter and is basically like, oh my god, I just looked through the Charli, here for Charli hashtag and you guys are so kind to me. Turns out it's for Charli XCX. So then that makes me think, did she even go through it? I don't think she did. I think she saw here for Charli trending and she was just like, oh my god, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Which I think is it's just secondhand embarrassment. I don't think it makes her a bad person. I think she just saw her name and assumed, look, I'm the most famous Charli. This must be for me. It's just the secondhand embarrassment that's doing it for me right now. Like, I'm not even, this isn't like, oh, cancel her, oh, cancel worthy. I'm just like, embarrassed, just a little bit. This is embarrassing. I'm so like sad that happened to her, obviously losing a friend. Mainly now with everything going on, it's just tragic. But the story just took such a weird turn that it's just like, what do I even do with this? Then Dixie, let's just go in the family. So she had a day in the life with Vogue, which Vogue usually does the nighttime and morning skincare routines, the beauty routine, and then they do day in the life for like different celebrities. And they took on Dixie D'Amelio, and the like to dislike ratio is awful. The comments are calling her boring and lacking in personality, that no one asked for this, like going really hard, which is also like, this is what I keep on saying. Charli D'Amelio, Dixie and Addison are some of the most followed girls on TikTok. Well, the most followed girls on TikTok, literally top 10 in the world. And yet, whenever they do anything outside of their platforms, they get nothing but hate. Charli with CeraVe, hate. Like, had to turn off comments. Dixie with Vogue, like, just like, it's awful. All the top comments are awful. Addison Rae recently was starting to hang out with like Dream and the Twitch guys, you know, the like Twitch gamers. Literally thousands of tweets on Twitter saying like, why are you guys hanging out with her? She's scum, like, don't bring her over here. These are the most followed people on the platform, and yet when they leave the platform, it is nothing but hate for them. I just wonder how that works. And they keep on gaining followers. They don't lose. Every time they get criticism or anything happens, they don't actually lose followers. But it seems like everyone hates them when they clearly don't. Like, they're clearly liked on TikTok, but then they leave the platform and it's just like, nope, get out, go back. Then we have Addison Rae. Addison Rae was actually seen in like a trailer, like a teaser for the last episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and she got a bunch of hate for it. Basically just being like, why are you trying to be famous? Why are you trying to pretend like anyone cares about you for you to be in Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Which I think is such a weird criticism, because obviously they probably invited her to be in the episode. Like, it wasn't like she was like, hey guys, can I come in on this? And then apparently she was seen looking at engagement rings. Please, Addison, you're 20. Please don't. Bryce might not be the one. He might be, but it might not be. Please give yourself some time. You guys were on and off for the last year. Like, I don't even think they've been together for a full year. Like, they keep on breaking up and getting back together. Please give yourself a couple of years to figure it out before you throw yourself into that. We have Nikita Dragun. So Nikita Dragun had a birthday party. Do you see where this is going? She invited hundreds of people. She also looked like a whole different race. She of course changed her skin tone once again, because why wouldn't she do that? She also got her hair done by Hair by Jay, the same guy who trashed Joshua Paytas and then got fired by Jeffree Star, even though Jeffree Star likes pictures of Hair by Jay's work. So how did you fire him, really, if you're still supporting him? Anyway, she also kind of got Patrick Star involved in her mess. Well, he got himself involved. He went to the party and then he commented under a picture of her birthday being like, oh my god, I wish I was there, but like he was there because he posted pictures from there. Then someone filmed him basically screaming at the camera, mask in his hand, not on his face, mask in his hand. You guys give Nikita so much shit. Why'd you keep on doing that? Don't, cancel her. She doesn't deserve to be cancelled. All of this talk about masks, and he's waving his mask around. Just put it on your face.
All of you for canceling the that I know and that you know. All of you, she's the best. And here's my mask. Just y'all wondering, okay?
Just put it on your face. Like, just put it on your face. Why is it wrapped around your wrist? Why? This is that video of him and Tana just licking each other in the middle of a party. Like, I'm so confused about Patrick Star. I think his brand's not selling. His videos are not getting views. And this is the way he thinks he's going to get famous again. Because it works for Nikita and he thinks it's going to work for him. Except Nikita literally befriends every famous person and he doesn't. Then we have Bretman Rock, who posted a TikTok recently shading a bunch of TikTokers. Basically, he got invited to the Super Bowl and it was just like a cardboard cutout of him at the Super Bowl. And then he posted a TikTok basically being like, guys, I know I've been cancelled. I'm so sorry for attending an event. And he was basically just mocking people.
This video is very hard for me to make because I have never done like an apology video before, and I just wanted to address a picture of me that has been circulating around, and I just wanted to explain myself. So the picture that I'm talking about, which I'll show you guys in a few moments, is basically me at a large gathering with no face mask on. And I know we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, and I just want to apologize for not having my face mask on out in public, especially with so many people around. So this is the picture of me. Yes, I am at the Super Bowl and I don't have a face mask on and I'm barely even watching the game. But I just wanted to say that everyone there got tested for COVID and it's safe. And so if you want to cancel me, I understand, but I did take extra precaution.
And that to me sounds like shade towards people like Nikita Dragun, but he's still friends with Nikita Dragun. So that's wild. And then the last story for today, SJ Blue. Recently I spoke about Tony Lopez and Andreas Lopez, which if you guys don't know the story about that, I'm not going to repeat it here because we're running out of time, but it'll be in description. SJ Blue is the girlfriend of Tony Lopez, and obviously with everything happening, people are like, why are you still with him? Why are you supporting him? Recently there was a video of paparazzi walking up to her and being like, oh my god, about Tony Lopez, and she just runs off into a restaurant so you don't ask her questions. And then recently there was a comment under her mum's Instagram basically being like, why is your daughter dating someone like that? And her mum responds saying, my daughter's not dating anyone. So does that mean that both of them have now lost their girlfriends, all of their friends, and a bunch of followers? Yes. I'm so glad SJ Blue has now, or Blow. Some saying Blow, some say Blue. We've never heard anyone pronounce her surname, so I'm just going by what I've seen. I'm just so happy for her because I'm like, look, you deserve to be with someone better than a criminal. Allegedly. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens on whatever platform it happens on. So hit that bell, be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.